Did you know Dollar Tree had Texas Roadhouse Rolls? I mean, they don't, but let me show you how to make them. I attempted to make them. It was a fail. I didn't follow the proper sourdough procedures, but it's okay. It is what it is. This recipe is going to start and end with feeding our sourdough. I measured it out this time just to see how much I had to make sure I had enough for the recipe. So that's all this is. When I made it, it was nice and yeasty. It was smelling like sourdough. It was perfect. So at this point, depending on how much I start with, I start just gradually increasing it. I didn't discard the sourdough starter or anything. I don't think I did. I just added more to it. And same with this one. I'm adding more to it, letting it feed or letting it eat. I think what I should have done was let it go another day, like feed it another day so it's a lot more active, but it's okay. I think it's supposed to rise doubly within like half the time normally. So it rose a little, and then here is about 12 hours later. It definitely smelled like yeast. Y'all see my line where it started, it doubled. I don't think it was active as it should have been, but whatever. Here are all in the ingredients. So now all of my ingredients are from Dollar Tree because at this point we're also moving out the house. So I was trying to use everything I had, but you can get all these ingredients from Dollar Tree. I started the sourdough from Dollar Tree. So we're measuring out our sourdough starter again to make sure we have enough, because how much starter we have depends on how much water and flour we need to use. So here's the little bitty we have left. So now we're gonna add our water, then we're gonna add our honey, and yeah, we're just gonna mix it all up. This step is similar to when you are feeding like your active dry yeast that comes in a packet. I didn't have to do this. I was just following, I guess, the normal standard protocols that I'm used to. I didn't need to do this because it's sourdough starter, not yeast. So we're gonna melt our butter, but we're not gonna melt it all the way so it doesn't become too hot and burn our starter. So while the butter was melting, I was stirring the starter and the water up because it will settle at the bottom because of course flour settles. So stir it till it's homogeneous, and then we're gonna add our flour. How many cups of flour? I really don't know. It's kind of a lot. These are half cup measurements, so it's probably closer to like 4 or 5 cups of flour that I added. So yeah, we're just gonna keep adding our flour. This video was recorded in July, mid-July. I'm now editing the video in October. So we look like we got maybe 4 or 5 cups of flour. We're gonna stir it. Don't forget your salt because salt is important to make food taste good. I use maybe like a tablespoon of salt, because that is just a teaspoon. So we're just gonna stir it and mix it all good. At this point, I should have started adding water. I don't know why I waited to the kneading process, but it needed water now because y'all see it was barely coming together. And also, you don't want your dough like too thick. Like, this is dry. This is barely, you really can't do nothing with it. So again, I'm lazy, so I pulled out my hand mixer to knead it instead of kneading it by hand and doing the stretch and folds, because that takes hours. It's like you do stretch and folds, you wait 30 minutes or something like that, and then you do more stretch and folds. That's when I realized it was too dry. So I added my water because it wasn't really coming together like it should have. Made bread before and I knew something wasn't right. But I think what I should have did, I should have made the dough a little bit earlier so I could let it rise immediately after this. But what I did instead was I covered it and put it in the fridge. And that was no good. So y'all, look at that. We barely have anything in there. You might be like, oh my gosh, you can't do anything with that. Well, you'd be wrong. Y'all, them late nights is getting to me. So basically, we're gonna move all the sourdough off the walls down, and we're just gonna refeed her. I used a lot of her, and I just wanted to make sure that she was active and ready to go. So basically, after this, I am going to put her in the fridge, but I just wanted to feed her again so I can get more out of her. I mean, normal. I just want y'all to see how I scraped the stuff out of the leftovers we had in the jar, and it's all bubbly and stuff. Yeah. It's still active. It's still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. So I would like to reiterate, my laziness got me again. Y'all see all that water coming out? I let her sit on the counter so she can come to room temp. And when it was time to knead it, she was still cold and dense. And this is whole wheat flour. Again, we were moving and I was trying to use every little thing we had up in that cabinet. Because also, I needed to refeed her. So I didn't want to use the rest of that. I wanted to be able to use the rest of the Mary Jane's flour, or Nancy Jane. So now we're rolling our dough and we're cutting them into shapes. I try to do the little fold over method similar to how Texas Roadhouse Rolls are. We struggled, but we did it. I wound up proofing them in the oven with the oven light on for as long as it could go. They doubled a little bit, but while I did that, I was making the cinnamon honey butter, honestly. The recipe, I don't know the recipe. Again, I found these off the TikTok. So, yeah. We used 1 stick of butter or margarine. We used, those are tablespoons. We used 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. We used about 3-4 tablespoons of honey. And then I think we used 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, because that is 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. So we used about, honestly, 6 of them. So we're gonna do that, put it together, and do maybe like 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. It's probably too much. But what I should have did, I should have put salt in it. So we're gonna mix it, and then we're gonna set it and forget it. I put it in the fridge while our rolls were doing their thing. So here's them doubled. They wound up deflating somehow, but nevertheless, we continue. So I melted butter, put them on top before they went in the oven. Halfway while they were cooking, I put more butter just so they could brown nicely, or as nice as possible. And yeah, we baked them until they were golden brown, delicious. Big issue I was having in this recipe was I was using sourdough starter instead of yeast to make rolls. I've never really made rolls with sourdough starter, especially one that calls for yeast initially. So this was new for me. I was really experimenting. But here are our beautiful rolls out the oven. They were dense and compact. But guess what? They were still good though. So we spread our butter on them while they were still warm. And I still ate all of it. I ate all the rolls because I'm not letting my hard work and my hard-working starter go to waste. So I'm gonna retry this again eventually. It's good. I think it needs to be lighter, fluffier. Shade, I'm not really a fan of Texas Roadhouse honey butter anyway. But look at that starter, y'all. That's the one we just made. Yeah, she's beautiful. But yeah, thanks for watching. This has been a long one. This has been an experiment. I am going to do what I know. Stick to how you're sort of supposed to make sourdough starter. We're gonna try it again with another recipe. It wasn't really the recipe's fault, it was mine. I've never made it before, but she's gonna go into the refrigerator. Until next time, y'all.